Hello friends, how are you doing? Please, before starting discussing this visa, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and if you have any question or any inquiry, please write it down there in the comment section. If we look together at the visa policy of the Samoa, and if you look at this map in front of you, you will see that all the citizens all over the world have the right to travel to Samoa without any need for any visa. But of course, some countries, like the green area countries, the citizens of these countries can stay there for up to 90 days without any need for any visa in any 180-day period, and the rest of the world can stay for up to 60 days without any need for any visa. The first document that you will need to apply for any visa, of course, is your passport. You have to make sure that your passport is valid at least for 6 months. Some embassies require it to be only for 3 months, but most of the embassies require it to be valid for 6 months. Also, make sure that there are some empty pages in your passport, at least 2 empty pages for the stamps, and also make sure that all the details and your photo is clear inside your passport. The second document that you will need while applying for any visa is your passport photocopy, but you will need a passport photocopy only if you are applying through the embassy, and you will need at least 3 copies. Sometimes they require more copies, but in general it is 3 copies, and it's only to cover the main data pages, and sometimes they will ask you to photocopy also all the stamps in your passport and all the previous visa to check your travel history. The third document that you will need while applying for the visa is your personal picture. You will have to make sure that your picture is new, at least 6 months old picture, and it will be very good if your personal picture matches the picture in your passport. Make sure also that your picture has a white background, as most of the visa application require it, and make sure that your face details are clear. Make sure you don't cover your face and don't cover your hair unless it is for religious reasons. The fourth document that you will need for applying for the visa is your visa application form. You can apply for visas by different ways. Sometimes you can apply online, sometimes you can apply by a computer filled PDF document, and sometimes you can apply by a manual filled document, and it changes depend on your destination and also depends on your passport. And every section of this section will be discussed specifically in the visa video itself. Either you can apply online, or you can apply by computer filled visa application form, or you can apply by a manual filled visa application form. Document number 5 that you will need while applying for any visa is a proof of status, and you will need this document only if you are applying for a visa through the embassy, and it changes depending on your situation. If you are an employee, you will need a letter from your company, and it should indicate your position, your salary, and it should indicate also the details of the company you are working in, and also its contact number, and make sure that this letter is both signed and stamped. But if you are a business owner, you have to provide all the documents that proves that you own your own business. If you are a student, you will have to get an admission letter from your university, and of course it should be verified and stamped. If you are a minor, you have to get an approval from your parents, either your father or your mother, or the person who generally takes care of you, or at least one of them should accompany you while applying for the visa. If you are jobless, you will have to provide any document that states that you have sufficient fund that can be enough for you while
you are traveling. Document number 6 is a proof of legal status, and you will need a proof of legal status under two conditions. The first condition is if you are applying through a visa through the embassy, and the second condition if you are applying from a different country than your original country. So if you're applying from a different country than your original country, you will have to prove that you are a legal resident in this country. Either you will provide a document of legal residency, or you will provide a valid visa for the country you are applying from. Document number 7 is proof of funds. You mostly will need proof of funds as a document if you are applying through a visa through an embassy. But sometimes while applying online, some websites, some countries require also that passengers, that travelers should provide a proof of funds online. The proof of funds is basically a bank statement, and this bank statement should cover the last 6 months of your bank account. It should be signed and also stamped. Document number 8 is flight reservation, and the flight reservation is sometimes a very significant document for the acceptance of your visa, and it is required both online, or if you are applying for this visa online, or either you are applying for this visa offline through the embassy, but sometimes also it is not required. The most important thing about your flight reservation is to have a return ticket. So you either book a round trip or either book a return ticket, since you're going ticket or your going date is not always clear, but it is very good if you book a round trip ticket. This ticket could be a confirmed ticket or could be an initial booking. You can book an initial booking through many websites. There are some websites that provide you some dummy tickets, and these tickets could be valid and verified by the travel airlines websites for 1 week or 2 weeks, the period that your visa will be processed in. Document number 9 is your accommodation or your hotel booking, and it is one of the easiest documents while you are preparing your documents for your application for the visa. There are many websites that provide you this service to book either a confirmed booking or an initial booking. Sometimes some countries require it to be a confirmed hotel, and sometimes they require also a specific type of hotel, like 4-star, minimum 4-star or 5-star. But in general, just having a normal hotel booking is sufficient and more than enough for most of your travel destination. And sometimes, in some conditions, especially while you are applying for a visa through the embassy, some embassies require that your hotel booking should be covering the third of the duration of your trip. Remember that if you are going to visit a family or a friend, you can provide a letter from this family member or from this friend that you will be staying with that person, and in this case you will not need a hotel booking. But also remember that while providing this letter, all the details of that person should be mentioned, and also a copy of his or her residence or visa or passport should be attached. Document number 10 is travel insurance, and it is not required by many countries. Some countries really require it, and most of these countries are European countries or countries of the Gulf, like Saudi Arabia, like Sultanate of Oman, like Qatar. So it is not really an essential travel document. But if you are applying for a visa through the embassy, many embassies also still require this document, and you can make your travel insurance online, but make sure that you are purchasing it from a verified platform by your destination. If you're traveling to Europe, you have to make sure that this website is that travel insurance issued by this website is accepted in the Schengen area or in the European country, and make sure that this travel insurance covers the whole trip.